Hi everyone. In our last lesson, we started off with talking about the different types of expressions and translations. In today's lesson, we're going to go to simplifying expressions using order of operations. We're going to look at those numerical expressions and use our PEMDAS, which is a way to remember how to perform operations so that we get the same answer. And then we'll go into algebraic expressions where we'll replace those variables with given values and then simplify. In order to use order of operations, you need to just remember what comes first, second, third. We start off by our grouping symbols, and generally we call that our parentheses, but they could be parentheses, brackets, they could be a fraction bar, anything that groups certain operations together. We evaluate powers. Raising something to a power says multiply it by itself as many times as that exponent states. Then we go on to the operations of multiply and divide, and we're going to do those scanning from left to right, and we're also going to use that left to right rule for add and subtract. So now I have three problems at the bottom of this slide. I'd like you to copy them in your notes. I'd like you to try each of these three problems and then check back to see how you did. Okay. Hopefully you have all three and we'll see what to do. Now, looking at a problem, this first one has three operations: subtraction, addition, and multiplication. Going back to my rule, I will start with my multiplication. So I'm going to start with, and I'll bring down everything else. I have my 12 minus 8 plus 4. Left to right rule, even though subtraction comes first, left to right rule says let's, and finally we'll add, and hopefully you got 8 for your answer. Get in the habit, please, of boxing your answers so this way it's easy to locate. Second problem, 20 divided by 5 times 2. Division and multiplication, going back to our left to right rule, we'll do the division first. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 times 2. Once again, I have an answer of 8. Third problem. Addition, a power, which is a multiplication, and another multiplication. No parentheses just yet, but I do have a power, so I'm going to evaluate 5 squared, which is 5 times 5, and it's 25 times 3. Moving on to the next step in simplifying is an addition and multiplication. I'll now have 16 plus 75. 25 times 3. Last step tells me I should add, and I'm going to get 91. How did you do? Hopefully you got these right. If not, we can discuss them in our next in-person class. So simplifying expressions is our goal for today, and we're going to have two different types of expressions. The numerical are the ones where we're going to just use that order of operations as we did on our first slide. And then the second type is going to be the algebraic, where we're going to be evaluating by substituting in numbers for the variables, and then we'll go and use our order of operations. So here are your basic rules. You may want to copy these into your notes that you have them as a reference. And you can always play back the video in case you've missed something, or pause it. Here are 4 problems. Again, I'd like you to pause the video and try these 4 problems. And then join back with me to see how you did. Now, if we were in person, I'd probably ask you to come to the board. And again, when we're in person next week, I will be doing probably just that. Or I might even, in a Zoom class or a live session, ask for you to help me with the steps. Since this is just the video part of the lesson, I'll go through it, but when we meet on a Zoom class, I probably will pause and ask you to help me. Looking at this problem, the very first thing I'm going to do is that power. So I'm going to have 16 minus 8 divided by 4 plus 14. All I did was 2 to the second power, 2 times 2. Going across left to right, I see that I have to deal with my division. 16, okay, that's going to give me a 2, and 14. Going left to right, I'm going to subtract. I'm going to get 14 plus 14. Final answer, 28. If at some point I make an error, which is possible, please bring it to my attention. If I see it after the video, I may make a change if need be. All right. Next problem. Once again, I see a power, so I'm going to bring down this 3. I'm going to evaluate. 4 times 4 is 16 times 2 minus 5. There again, we have a multiplication that comes before my addition subtraction. That's going to give me 32 minus 5. Back to the left to right rules, keep going. This is going to be 35 minus 5, and my final answer here is 30. Hopefully we're agreeing, and if there's a problem, we will clarify that. Next problem, here again, I see a power right in the middle. I now have 20 minus 7 plus 64 minus 7 times 11. You see how complicated these can be. I'm now going to see that there is a multiplication down here, so I'm going to go 20 minus 7 plus 64 minus 77. Again, left to right, left to right. Here we'll subtract. Now everything is addition and subtraction, so now I just go left to right. I'll have 13. 13 plus 64 minus 77. Left to right. This is going to give me 77 minus 77. Final answer, 0. Our last problem on this slide, left to right. This is going to give me parentheses, so I need to do what's in parentheses first. So this is going to be 5 plus 3. And notice that I'm bringing down all the other elements in this expression or terms because I don't want to forget to do anything. This is 8 plus 2 times 2 times 2. Sometimes when you get a little bit more versed in this, you can do steps like that along the way. And you'll see that is 16. Okay. The last part of today's lesson is the evaluations. When I see an algebraic expression and I'm given values, x is 4, y is 5, z is 3, I plug them in or replace them. So I've got 3 times 4 squared plus 2 times 5 plus 3 cubed. There's a lot happening here. Okay, so I have 3 times 16 plus 2 times 5 is 10. 3 cubed is 27. 3 times 16, 48. This is going to give me a 37. Add these two together, and that's going to give me 85. Again, I'm going through it a little quicker. When in our live session, I will go through them slower, and I will also answer questions. One more. where D is 4, F is 3, and G is 12. 5 times 4 plus 6 times 3 minus G, which is 12. Okay, 20 plus 18 minus 12. Now remember that was in parentheses, so I need to do that first. I'm going to have 20 plus 6, which gives me 26. These take a little bit of practice, especially these that are a little more complicated. If these were a bit of a challenge, then I'll do some shorter problems in our live session for this class. So today we worked on simplifying expressions, both numerical and algebraic. Time for you to practice. So complete the assignment and submit it on Canvas, and have a great day. Thanks.